Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and just for a second let's remind ourselves just how many followers and eyes on the SACCONE JOLYs they actually have. So the main SACCONE JOLY YouTube channel has 1.64 million subs, the Jonathan JOLY channel has 737,000, Jonathan's own Instagram account has 1.2 million followers, and Anna's Instagram has 1.4 million followers. So all in all, put that all together, that's an awful lot of supporters and just eyes on people who are following them, basically keeping the tabs on them. It's an awful lot of eyes on both of those. So when Jonathan posts shit like this, so it's an ad, it says ad, my kids love horses, I not so much, but I went along with them and I managed to feed a horse a carrot. Search National Racehorse Week to book your free visit. It's nationwide, so there's probably somewhere local to you. Hashtag love racehorse, hashtag National Racehorse Week at Great British Racing. So that's who's sponsoring them, and Jonathan has added Great British Racing saying thank you. So what is Great British Racing? Well, these are them. They promote interest in Great British horse racing, etc. Interest and participation for the future generations of jockeys and horse trainers and killing horses, those type of people who have to put horses down, you know, that's all part and parcel of it, right? So here's my problem. I love animals, right? I do. I'm sorry, I have to admit it, I do. I'm willing to say that most of you listening here probably also love animals, right? Everybody watching and reading that post and who have apparently liked the post probably also love animals. So why are they supporting somebody who is supporting I could keep going on, somebody who's supporting this cruel and brutal sport of horse racing? Now, I'm going to get one or two people saying that horse racing isn't that bad, and it's you know, horses are very well kept. I did a video on this a little while ago regarding Sarah when she was, yeah, it was I pointed out why she was wrong to be glamorizing horses and stuff like that, you know, working horses. So I know that some people will defend this, but here's what I have to say, and I think it's utterly shameful that somebody of Jonathan's stature, with so many followers and so many eyes on him at every single possibility, that he would promote such a sport like this. Now, if you don't believe me how brutal the sport is, here are some figures. There have been 2,665 deaths, that's horse racing related deaths of thoroughbred horses, in 5,990 days. Here's a list of the horse racing deaths in the past month alone. 15 in actual fact, just in the last month. Since 2000, 37 horses have died on the Grand National course, and over the course of the 3-day meeting, 63 horses have been killed in that same period. So that's since 2000, and that's 23 years ago. There have been 37 deaths on that one race alone, and 63 in total on that course over that weekend period that they run it. Cheltenham Racecourse is the second most dangerous course in Britain. In 2018, 10 horses died alone in 2018. So if you think that it's a past issue, or they are improving things, they're improving standards and safety on these courses, that was 5 years ago. 10 horses died in one race, on one weekend, over a 4-day weekend period. So it is, for me, if one horse dies in any one race, I would say that's too many. I don't know about you guys, but I think so. Now, if we look back again at the most recent horse deaths on race courses and see the reason why these are dying, they're not just dying of old age, bear in mind. So these horses, we've got things such as collapse during a race, dead. Why they collapse during a race and die? They're fatally injured in a race and they're dead. Fatally injured and pulled up, fatally injured. But my best ones, my favourite ones, absolute top of the notch, is things that say things like, he pulled up, he was injured, destroyed. Do you know what destroyed means? It means that they intentionally kill the horse because it's too injured and has no purpose and possibly going to lead a bad life there on out. So they have to put the horse down. And these are the stories that don't make the headlines, they don't make the news, and the media tends to not report the full facts. Fortunately, over at horsedeathwatch.com, they do report every single death that they can verify on these horse racing events, right? And they even themselves say that the amount that they report is most likely to be around about 30% higher than what they've actually reported. So when they say to you things like, oh well, Aintree, the Grand National, has improved safety standards, and it's not, because there's still horses dying, and they are just, as I said, if there's more than one horse, if there's even one horse that's dying, then that is way too many, in my opinion. Nobody should be dying. No horses should be dying. And let me tell you, if that was a human being, if that was a jockey that had died during a race, they would have an inquiry, and a major inquiry at that, to make sure that this doesn't happen again. But when it happens over and over and over and over again with the horses, nothing gets done. They don't care, because it's all in the name of, firstly, sport. Allegedly, it's not really a sport, is it? Secondly, it's in the name of money and gambling and betting. There's huge amounts of money exchange hands, especially at the Grand National, but every weekend at every race meet up and down the country, there is huge amounts of money involved, and that's the only reason that these things carry on. Because what other purpose does horse racing? What other purpose is there for it, other than to give people entertainment to bet on? And that's not a good enough reason for horses to die, I don't think, anyway. But have you ever thought about what happens to these horses, even the ones that aren't dying on the racetrack, aren't being put down after the race? What happens when they're no longer fit for purpose? Because there comes a time where they've done their duty, and they've won races or they've lost races, and eventually they're of no use because they're not fit and healthy to run anymore. So what happens to those horses? And this doesn't get reported ever.
In Britain and Ireland, thousands of horses are disposed of each year. Many are seen as worthless by their owners at the end of their racing careers, whilst others are young horses who didn't make the grade to race. Undercover investigations by Animal Aid have shown even horses with illustrious careers who have made people lots of money have been sent for slaughter. Well-funded sanctuaries for retired horses are sadly few and far between.
I'm sorry that you had to see that, but this is the sad truth of what happens to horses after they finish their careers. And some, as it said there, that don't even make it through a career and are just not good enough, they are sent for slaughter, basically. And yeah, it's not nice and it's not good. But why do I bring all this up? I know I've gone off on a tangent. You might have thought I was having a go at Jonathan for his behaviour, but I am. But I'm pointing out to everybody why what Jonathan is doing, promoting this type of thing, is completely wrong. He may see it as harmless. They went for a day out, didn't they, with the kids, which may have been a nice little day out. They got to experience some things, but at the end of the day, what he's doing is promoting not just the event that he was there for, but he was promoting Great British horse racing, which is to do with what we're talking about here and how many deaths there are. In my opinion, and this may be a divisive opinion, I don't know, in my opinion, horse racing really should be null and void and no longer a thing. And it's incredible that it actually is in any sense, really, because it's just cruel and brutal. If you have to get put down because you've suffered an injury as a result of the race that you've just run, that's just insane to me. Imagine an athlete, a human athlete, going for his, he's going in the Olympics, he gets injured, which is unfortunate, and then at the end of the race, bang, they're going to kill him because, he's not good enough for his he can't perform anymore. So, we're going to have to get rid of him. Horses are not just there for your entertainment. End of story. So, John, I think you should be ashamed of yourself for your choice of advertising. And you were clearly paid for that because the event that you went to, you said it was free to enter. So you weren't gifted the event. Therefore, you were paid by Great British Horse Racing. And yeah, you received a lot of money for promoting this absolute barbaric shit. I'm sorry. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Until next time, please give this video a thumbs up because it does help me out. Comment all your thoughts down below. Do you love animals like me and we wish that this sort of thing was not a thing? Or are you on the other side and think that it's okay as long as not so many people die or horses die? Please subscribe to the channel if you want more content. Until next time, take care of yourselves and bye bye.